Right, so I have returned once again today to deliver another stream of JoJo Part 7 on this stream. Oh, JoJo Part 7 Steel Ball Run. We're good to go. We're good to go. I was checking whether or not whether or not I said the word correctly, whether or not the actual sync was working, but it is. So yeah. Hello. On this stream, we're covering Volume 23, which is the penultimate volume of JoJo Part 7. And yeah, last volume, holy crap, was it Revelation Central? I must say, Valentine in a nutshell was being a massive boob. I was like, Valentine, my boy. When I calm down a bit there. Can't stand Valentine currently. Just, ugh. His words are shallow. It irritates me ever so much. So yeah, we've got to see what actually happens with the fallout of that conversation, because we left on Johnny basically like, alright, I don't know what to do here. This is actually quite a doozy of a predicament I'm actually in right now. So it's one of those things we have to see whether or not actually what does Johnny do, because it's either yay or nay to the idea. It'll be interesting to see what the actual fallout would be. Oh man, if that was the case, I'd be so happy. I would be like, yeah, the eventual like kind of what's it called? The decision was actually worth it if Jared actually throws a steel ball in his face and just darts it. Oh, that'd be the greatest thing ever. I would actually want that ending. I'd be like, yeah, that's just the perfect ending ever. It's just there's no better ending than that. But yeah, so let's begin episode then. Chapter 89, Break My Heart, Break Your Heart, Part 2. Man, I'm not looking forward to this. I want to see the actual fallout of this conversation. I love how the fact is you always see Jar as well. Like you always see Jar in the background. It's just like, oh man, my heart. Yeah, that's the thing, because even though Kira and Poochie were kind of assholes in their own right, they were kind of a lot like you kind of wanted to punch them in the face, but you're like, ah, okay. I mean, I can sit there and watch them for like maybe 35 episodes, but Valentine, he just balls your blood. Like you're just sitting there like, boy, if I could, I would. But yeah, I mean, just Valentine's a more convincing villain. That's the thing, because he's just like, you hate him so much. Kira's just like, yeah, Kira's Kira. And so was Poochie. Poochie's Poochie. But, man, Valentine is Valentine, as they say as well. But god damn it. It's just, oh, he bores your blood. So much. God, you took the wrong son. I believe you. Oh no. Oh no. President Valentine. But even though Poochie kind of had that edge about him that he was actually like, oh, I want to reset the universe, but it was the universe. I mean, it's a really thinly veiled excuse for Poochie, but with Valentine, it's just about America. I mean, there was a more universal thing with Poochie, but Valentine's just about America, so he's kind of still being selfish about the whole entire thing. He kind of sees himself as the Messiah in the end. They all kind of see themselves as the Messiah, but he even more so. You are surely walking the right path. Or did I miss anything in previous page? No, sweet. I believe that you are. Thank you, you're Johnny Joestar. Oh. Oh. This is a very interesting turn of events. Before that gun, It's your gun. You had it hidden on your body when you came back to this world from a dimension. You shot JoJo with it before. It's the gun that finished him. This gun can also do things like that, and you threw the gun away before. You used up all the bullets before, so now the cylinder is empty. There isn't a single shot left. As a test, try picking up that gun. Oh, oh. I love Johnny. I love Johnny so much. I've always kind of been like Johnny, like most of the time, but when he needs to be, he's fantastic, I think, as well. That's what I love about Johnny as well. The fact is, he's always he just has that about him. He's just like, oh boy, you do it, boy, you do it. I believe you're Val 100% now. I want to shoot you with the opposite rotation, so infinite rotation that's going on in your body. I really want to do that, coming from my heart, but I want to believe in a 1%. That behind your Val, somewhere deep behind it, there lies no deceptive surprise attack and betrayal. All you have to do is pick up that gun with your own hand. I'm sure nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. That will do. If anything happens, everything will be able to come to an end, and I'll be able to believe you 101%. Just try picking it up, President Valentine. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! It's happening! It's happening! My heart and actions are utterly unclouded. They are all those of justice. Oh man, there is the profile shot as well of Valentine. Oh, 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 oh. That was a massive oh no's. I was like, well. That's like the meme from Arrested Development when Jason Bateman's like, well, I didn't know what I expected. Oh, he got shot in the neck. The man's down. The man's down. Well, possibly down. You say that, but how many times has he been knocked down and just got back up afterwards? Too many times. Too many times, all Valentine has. I thought I would actually finish this off this week. I thought, oh, you know what? Since I'm at the end, I'll do what I did with part 6. That's why it's actually a lot of JoJo streams this week. Seems fitting, I think. There's actually a lot going on that I can't just leave it like days apart because it's just too much going on. It is true. It's actually quite a neat way to end it. Ugh. Hello. It's one of those things of Valentine's character. You just never could believe him, to be honest, because he's one of those people that you have to kind of take with a grain of salt because he's in power, so he knows how to speak. That's a problem. That's why I always kind of thought to myself, you can't really believe the man because with power comes the way to talk, and in doing so, you actually can get yourself out of anything, and actually then manipulate people to thinking that, oh, I can actually do all these things, when in fact, no, you can't. That's the thing with Valentine's character, I think. That's why I said his words are shallow, because let's face it, he's able to do it. I just can't understand why people would believe him, to be honest. You have to realise the fact that what he's done beforehand, yes, well, that's basically it. What he was doing beforehand, you kind of just went to yourself, could he? I mean, yeah, he can say those things, but let's face it, he won't ever actually go through with those things, because it's happened too many times. You would think to yourself, yeah, no, fam. Hello. That's why I've always kind of thought to myself, man, yeah, no. That's why it kind of pissed me off a lot, because I was just sitting there like, this guy is just lying so much right now. That's the problem with him. Hey, Johnny, over here, I'm moving over this way. Oh, come on. No! Stop it! Stop just breaking my heart. I don't want to see my husbando go away, alright? No! Oh, Jesus Christ. Huh? If that's how it is, I'm okay with it. My real name, you promised, right? Don't tell anybody. See ya. Take care. Jaro. I'm sorry. This is actually... Why would he do this now? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I really wanted to believe the president. Goodbye, Jaro. Goodbye. That was... Wow! And a police had to go past as well at the perfect time. Why would he do this to me now? That is straight up some Part 5 level feels. That was like, reminds me of when Butch Lati went away as well. Just like, why would you do that? They're amazing characters. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's confirmation that he's actually dead now. Oh, man. Oh, man. I like how Rocky was just writing this, like, oh yeah, Driver, he's heartbroken. He's just like completely like unable to feel emotion. I'll just put some more in there, just make him feel even worse. So yeah, sure. Now I feel even worse. Yeah, she's been able to cry in a corner somewhere because I won't be able to get out of there. Oh man. I won't be able to get out of that corner now. I'll be like just sitting there like, please leave me alone. My husband's dead. My husband is now completely dead. It is. My heart is absolutely broken right now. Like literally, I haven't felt as much emotion in a long time. Jesus Christ. Every single damn time. Well, I guess now he's dead as well. Thank the Lord. Didn't go out the way I expected. The way I want him to just be punched a lot, just for like every single character. I have to play through All-Star Battle again. I have to purchase the English version. I have the Japanese version because I got it before it actually kind of got localized. Like way beforehand. I think I got it like 2013, I believe, when it first came out in Japan. I have to rebuy. I have Eyes in Heaven on PS4 though. That's the only one I have in English. I still don't have in Japanese. Crumble. I don't think that actually was a way that he actually would accomplish his goals. That's the problem. His goals were just way too high. You're just like, Nah, fam, not happening. No, I think Johnny still had that thought in his mind, like, I can't believe this man, because let's face it, because the gun's always the true test of loyalty, isn't it? That's one of the things, that the gun is always like, if you pick that gun up and do anything, then either yay, I'll believe you, or nay, I will not believe you. It's one of those things. It's like it's the tested one. That's the thing, because let's face it, if Johnny survived this whole entire thing, there's no way Valentine might just think to himself, will I survive this as well? That's the thing as well. That's the thing. Though Valentine's now dead, he will always be remembered as the biggest douche in JoJo. There have been massive douches in JoJo, but not as big as Valentine was. Valentine's just the biggest douche in the universe. Like, goddamn. I don't think there'll be anyone as douchey as Valentine, though. Goddamn. I would personally just punch him in the face if I could. Just, go. I would say Valentine's a bigger douche than Dio at this point, I'd imagine. I don't know. Dio and Valentine kind of have the same douchey levels, but Valentine kind of has the more charismatic douche to him. There was that Valentine had the I'm worthy with my douchiness kind of aura about him, I think. It's really depressing for Johnny as well, because he's lost everyone. That's the problem. That's the major thing of the whole entire arc, is the fact that Johnny's lost everyone. When you think about it, like, Johnny's physically lost everyone at this point. Like, he's left with no one. Like his dad doesn't want him. Gyro's dead. Hot Pants is gone. Freaking Dio's gone. Everyone's gone. Like, the poor boy is left alone. It's the more kind of like depressing part of that whole entire thing. The cries are just, you're like, man. It's a horse is alive. Yeah, that's true. But I always will say, I think Valentine's a bigger douche in the sense of the word, in the sense of the use of language. I think Valentine is a bigger douche, because Valentine knows how to manipulate people. That's the thing. He's one of those people that he knows how to manipulate you, and to actually want for you to actually want the same things as him. That's the thing. So in that case, I'd imagine he's actually the bigger douche. Ooh. Ooh. It's depressing when you think about it. Like, the poor boy is just so alone. I just want to go in there, give him a hug, and say everything will be okay. Don't worry. Like, it's fine. Don't worry. '89 end. Oh wow, that's just a bigger hit to the heart, isn't it? It's even a bigger hit to the heart. Look, he just put. There's no more gyro. There's no more gyro in the actual things. I would say if you were to characterize Johnny and Valentine, there is some similarities in the sense of the use of selfishness. That's about it. But one takes more an extreme measure to it, but the other one takes another one. That's the thing. I would say there's ways in which that you can actually interpret that Johnny is the opposite version of Valentine's sense of selfishness. That's just me, at least. The result of the President's dimensional traveling deforeseeability, combined with the good fortune of the completed corpse, is a range of an area where bad things are shot off and annihilated. Land, horses, people, and animals were all shot off somewhere and disappeared without anyone noticing. Perhaps the area got smaller, but it's certain that the fortune things increased. Yeah. It's a thing with Valentine's character, because you could in theory just sit here for years just like kind of just dissecting his character, because there's a lot going on with him. So I read somewhere yesterday, someone said the stillborn one's characters are boring. I was like, no, they're not. they're actually like fantastic because they all have a deep layer to them. They actually could sit here for years and just dissect them. You wouldn't get anywhere because there's just so much about them that it just kind of makes you go, okay, so that's one thing, but then it's a counter argument to it as well. So 90, high voltage part 1. Yeah, that's the thing. I think when you think about it, every single villain in JoJo really took something to the extreme. That was the thing. Because I think what Rocky actually kind of highlighted is the idea of how the extremities of a person can go to a place of no return. That's how I kind of interpret all his villains, because all his villains do the exact same thing. They all take something to the extreme. May that be the idea of power, like patriotism, the idea of anything. Like if you just looked at any single character, you can say that it was taken to the extreme, and it actually looked into that idea. I think maybe more so in Part 7 than any other part, maybe Part 6 also, but there's that. At least Stefan's alright. At least we still got a good boy. At least we have a good boy left. Besides Johnny. That's the thing. At least we've got a good boy left. I love it. We've got a good boy left. Yeah. Because the idea of justice is a kind of a very, very muddled thing in this manga, I think, at this point. Because beforehand, there was always this idea that the JoJo's, the Joestars, and all those people were always the justice in the world. But here, Johnny's kind of like the counter-argument. Like, yeah, he kind of is justified, but there are certain things about him that kind of counteract that as well. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, my dear Lucy. I'm truly glad you're safe. Mr. Valentine's gone. He's dead, and his stand was destroyed. After he died, he disappeared to some other dimension. Now he won't be greeting us at the race's closing ceremony, but no human exists in this world who know that fact. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a lot going on with the villains that I think Araki actually highlights. Like, people do say that Araki's villains don't actually do very much, but there actually is a lot going on with them. You have to look really freaking deep into the characters to actually kind of find it, but it's there. It's there with a lot of the characters. Everyone's gone. No one's left. Oh yeah, you can stand. You can stand, Johnny Joestar. It's just a little by little. I always imagined I'd be a little more dramatic, but it's like the moon becoming full. The thing itself is kind of unconcerned about it. Still, everything's over now. Lucy is safe. Johnny, thank you. Okay, but the more important question is, what happens to the actual announcer of Part 7? What happens to him? The biggest question of them all. The announcer of Part 7. What happens to him? That's Poker Loco in the lead. Thank God Poker Loco's actually winning. He actually does. I'm actually thankful he's winning because he's a pure boy as well. He's a pure boy. I love him. Poker Loco's fantastic. Then Norisuke Higashikata and Baba Yaga too. At this rate, the stillborn run will reach its goal. The race will probably be a big success. It was something I dreamed of ever since I was a boy, but at some point it became something different. I never once thought that I myself would reach that goal. The stillborn run's closing ceremony. I mean, Poker Loco is a fantastic character anyway. I like him a lot. So the fact that I can't speak now. The fact that he's actually winning is actually fantastic, I think. Yeah, that's the thing, because narratively speaking, it wouldn't make sense for Gyro to come back. Because, as you say, you can't replace the original Gyro. It just wouldn't make sense to have him there. You'd just be like, oh, it's Gyro, but it's just like, it's not Gyro, though. It's one of those things. I'm glad he actually didn't come back in that sense. I'm heartbroken, but the fact is, narratively speaking, it makes sense. Johnny, what are you going to do now? What am I going to do? I have no idea, but I need to find Gyro. Gyro's corpse. I need to bury it. His coastline is gradually receding back to the open sea. If my friend just gets washed away, I couldn't be okay with that. I need to find him. Joe's object is the stillborn run. Joe's objective in the stillborn run race was to save an innocent boy from his home country with amnesty. At the very least, I want to tell what kind of race Joe ran across his continent, to his country and his father, as my thanks and responsibility to Gyro. That's the last thing I need to do. That's true. There's a lot of things that what would have happened with Valentine bringing back Gyro that you just couldn't bring yourself to actually think about it. You're like, no, no, Valentine, stop it, boy. When you think about it, Poker Locker did actually have the best luck in the whole entire manga. Oh yeah, he actually can stand on his own. That's actually kind of it's a very nice little allegory for the whole entirety of Johnny's character and Gyro's relationship with him. It's a nice little allegory for it. That's actually kind of cute. Johnny, what are you doing? Did something happen? I can't believe this. No way. It was so close to me. The corpse is gone, along with the blanket. The corpse that I had tied up disappeared. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. What? What are you saying? What on earth what are you saying? What on earth is this? The corpse was stolen. Someone stole it. Someone came right near here. There are horse tracks. Oh. The announcer stole it. The announcer was a true villain of JoJo Part 7 the whole entire time. Damn it, how did we not realise? Ah, oh, man. It's an enemy. Huh? He did. Oh, man. I love it. I love the fact that the announcer is actually the low-key best character of the whole entire manga. It's Winter Catfish Guy and the announcer are the best characters. Yeah, pretty much. The whole entire thing was just a setup, just to actually kind of just is to kind of throw us off completely. I love it. I understand, Johnny. I understand. You're saying someone was hiding somewhere nearby just now? The corpse disappeared, and someone's been watching us the whole time? I can't believe it either, but it looks like that's it. Over here, the corpse was put on a horse. I didn't hear any approaching footsteps or even sense the horse's presence. It's unbelievable that someone with that kind of technique was here, and they took it and left based on where the horse prints are facing. It looks like they went east. What on earth does that mean? What did they do? Why did they do it? Professor Valentine is dead, isn't he? Who could possibly be? There's still someone else? What do they want? The corpse was truly an important object, wasn't it? Gyro died for its sake, as did many others. And there are probably still people who died because of that corpse. These horseshoe prints, there we are. I've seen them before. They're horseshoe prints. I'm very familiar with. But whose were they? It's one of the participants in the race. Who can figure out who this guy is? Who knows that the corpse is really important? Who understands the corpse? In this world, it's I alone, Johnny Joestar. There's no way I'll hand it over to anyone. The only one with the right to end this is me. Lucy, I have a favour to ask. Could you please look for Gyro and my steed? And look after Valkyrie too? Well, yes, of course, but... Johnny, wait. Wait, Johnny. If you're going to chase after him, then I have some advice and information to give you. I'm sure you remember how thoroughly prepared and careful President Valentine was. Yes, I remember that the President, some time ago, just before this race began, constructed a shelter beneath Manhattan Island. From the events that have occurred up till now, if I were to make a guess, I think perhaps it is a place for when it was all gathered to house the corpse. Oh. Underground shelter? In other words, if that corpse gets stored there, no matter what army or stand-up entity tries to break in or destroy it, it would be impossible a completely safe place. There's no doubt about it. The thief must be heading there. He's planning on hiding the corpse in the shelter. It's in Manhattan below Trinity Church. That concludes with the goal site of the Stillball Run race. Oh, that coincides with the goal site of the Stillball Run race. The final stage, Manhattan Rhapsody. 8th stage, New Jersey State, Union Beach. The final 9th stage, New York State, Manhattan Trinity Church. Distance 13 kilometers. Estimated travel time 30 minutes. Number of participants 45. Oh, he's back! He's back! He's back, actually. The announcer's actually back. I can't believe it. The announcer's actually here. He's here. Boys, he's here. He's actually here. The beams of light that appeared in the west are sure to be reborn in the east. The radiance is sure to return. The travelling horses that disappeared in the dark of night, together with the rising sun, have returned in a soaring mass of radiance. Today is January 18th, 1891. The time is 6:02 a.m. The weather is clear. It is the return of Best Boy. Oh, it's actually quite a long one as well. The announcer is actually the true mastermind behind everything. It makes sense because where haven't you seen him and the corpse together? It all makes sense. It all adds up together that the announcer is actually the main culprit of the whole entire thing. They're coming at last. At last, it's true. They're finally here. The great mass that was fired from San Diego of the Pacific Ocean is still Stillball Run. Now, finally, having blasted 6,000 kilometers across the continent, impacts here, Manhattan Island of the Atlantic Ocean. I am, but my friend's still kind of giving out. I'll shut the last one, don't worry. Now, finally, having blasted 6,000 kilometers across the continent, impacts here, Manhattan Island of the Atlantic Ocean. Freaking hell. He does actually do your throat in. Oh, Jesus, he's still going. The boy's still going. All night long, people have been gathering here one after another. The number of dead have already surpassed 32 and the wounded to over 500. Voices have risen all over the world in criticism of the contest. But as if to defy them, it's a sheer number of people in this mass crowd. Coming over soon to offer his thanks and honour this impacts at the goal is President Valentine. Woo! The goal of this 8th stage is also be the start of this 9th stage, and will now give an explanation of the course. Freaking hell! Right, need some water for this one. It's actually a long one. Man. So the order of arrival at the goal of the 8th stage, Union Beach, will be recorded at Raptium Bay. That each remaining contestant and their horse will be crossing straight to the upper bay with one of the boat on standby there, and cross the Brooklyn Gravesend Bridge. There we are. Then from the Coney Island Seagate Pier to the Brooklyn Bridge and Manhattan Island's Trinity Church, travel distance is 50 kilometers. This urban battle will last roughly 30 minutes, making this the fastest stage. Oh my god, he's still going. Whoa, hold on there. There's actually a police car coming past. It seems that Baba Yaga has stopped moving. His horse's legs are wounded. He can no longer travel. Baba Yaga has stopped running. His horse legs are her. So full his goal. It seems his march from the dark night. It seems his march far through the dark night has winded his horse's legs. He's endured the scorching hot desert sands. He stood against the rocky mountains. He traversed the great Pharisees and frozen lakes and crossed countless rivers. Jesus Christ. But Baba Yaga has stopped his journey with the Atlantic Ocean right in front of his eyes. He's getting off the saddle. Baba Yaga has retired. I did it. We finished it. We did it. I'm telling you, there's something going on with him. He's a true mastermind. He is. He has to be. Ah, there we are. I almost lost my voice during that sentence. These horseshoe prints. Oh. Oh no. They're not Bakalocos. They're not Higashikatas either. But they're so familiar. What is this? I have no idea. They're horseshoes prints. I remember them very well. Where? Where did he go? It's him. The horseshoe prints are his. I've caught up to him. Out of his saddle, he got something that looks like the corpse. Who is he? There is no one President Valentine trusted regarding the corpse. He was acting all by himself. And in spite of that, this guy's heading to the secret shelter that the president built. If there really is a shelter. But then, how do I explain the fact that this rider was in the race? Damn. Anyhow, how do you get over this fence? Should I shoot him? I like how Johnny's. Should I just shoot him instead? Like mentality, so has not gone away. No, he's barely in range. That guy couldn't possibly know that and be trying to maintain his distance from me, could he? Something's odd here. That guy, he presumed innocent until proven guilty, but if he comes within my nail bullet's firing range, I'll whip him out instantly. But wasn't he announced as best friend Jaro though? I mean that works. Okay. He's in range. I'll bring him down now. Wait a second. Ah. No way, there was nobody who could. Where did he go this time? I'm sure there was nobody in the race who could run like this. Horseshoe Prince. There's a gap. I can't believe the fact that actually the whole entire time it was actually the announcer. Is that a star? Is that a star? Wait a minute. Don't those houses a little bit too modern for the actual time period? Don't those houses are way too modern for the time period? Or am I just going nuts? Wait a second. Am I losing my mind? I'm actually losing my mind here. I can't be losing my mind here, am I? Those look way too modern. I'm losing my mind, aren't I? Hey Stefan, look at this. Could this be? No way. Those horseshoe prints. The ones Johnny... That's what I was thinking, because it's 1891 and they have like almost 1960 level of architecture. I mean, it ain't no Frank Lloyd Wright level of architecture going on 1891, is there? Like, there ain't no Frank Lloyd Wright going on here. Am I going nuts again? I don't know. Could this be? No way. I was gonna say, I was like, wait a second. Did we just get Frank Lloyd Wrighted just now? But no, clearly not. Those horseshoe prints, the ones Johnny followed, they're the horseshoe prints that the person who took the corpse left, but the hole that the president was in, they came out from the bottom of the hole. The horseshoe prints start from the bottom of the hole. They come out of the saw at the bottom of the hole. Those horseshoe prints. What is this? Someone came out of the hole riding the horse? A different dimension? What? What? No way! No freaking way! No! No, 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 no. No! No way! No way! I just got bamboozled. I just got bamboozled. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Just straight up just bamboozled by Rocky right at the end. I can't believe it. I'm shook. Why? I mean, Best Boys returned, but how? Why? Where? How? I'm so confused. The world, this time, is only mine. What? It can't be. Dio! Oh man. So have we got evil Dio back now then? Is this evil Dio, not best boy Dio, not good boy Dio? Not morally conflicted Dio? I'm so confused right now. Oh my god. He's actually doing it as well. He is freaking doing it. He's freaking doing it. I swear to God, isn't he? He's actually doing it. Yeah, he is. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I'm freaking out right now. Oh, man. Zao. 90 end. I can't freaking believe it. I can't believe it. 91 high voltage part 2. I know you well, Johnny Joestar. It's actually, as it seems, there's nothing different about you in this place. Can't believe they actually got a different Dio. It's not the same best boy Dio. My heart is broken. That's kind of a very, it's kind of a very, like, kind of, whoa twist at the end of this whole entire thing. That's like the village level twist at the end. Like, what? Wait, what? Like, hold up a second. How the hell is there another Dio? There is 2 Dios. Actually, now it's 3 Dios. 3 Dios, technically. 4 Dios? Technically? Maybe? I don't know. Too many Dios. I've been looking for you. Just how many dimensions I cross, looking for you. I finally found you, alive. Wait, don't go. Wait. Alive? From the looks of things, it seems to me that one who's gonna die is you, Mr. President. There's a world you don't know. There's a world you don't know of. There's a world you don't know of, known as the base world. Okay, Dio, listen closely. Very soon, I'll be defeated by Johnny Joestar. Good night. But it's one of those things that I guess it kind of brings it all back when you think about it. Like, I like it a little bit because it actually kind of brings back the whole entire motif of JoJo. Like, it always ends with like a Dio fight. Oh, really? You think of me as an enemy and don't trust me, but now it's different. This is my last request. Johnny Joe's ability is infinite rotation. My body will soon be annihilated from a world somewhere. His nail bullets are invincible standability. No matter where I flee to, the rotation never stops, and I'm brought back to this place. No matter what I do, I can't win. Well, that's a pity. But President, do you have something to say to me? Want me to get you a drink before you die or something? Recover the holy corpse in my place. The one who owns the corpse can control all the good fortune of this world. Become the controller. Wow, that's a bad idea. That's a very bad idea. I mean, Dio has a messiah complex anyway, but freaking hell, there's even more messiah complex. The holy corpse is central to this universe. Its basis. It means taking the napkin. I'm not afraid of dying, but one thing I cannot allow is for the holy corpse to fall into Johnny Joe Star's hand. I cannot leave America, even if I die. I can't let it end. So Dio, I'm entrusting it to you. Only these United States. You mustn't hand it over to some dirty bastard of another side of the world. Doesn't even try to understand anything. Holy corpse, base world. I don't trust you either, but your ambitions is something I very much like. You have to control it for America's future. I have built a perfectly safe underground shelter in Manhattan, New York, for the corpse. Store it there. The corpse will be yours. Now, your body. Using D-Force's ability, you'll have to go between ground and more ground and hide. Your horse too. I also plan to do a final deal with Johnny Joestar. I have confidence I can convince him. See what I mean? See what I mean? See what I mean? See what I mean? I told you so. I told you so. I convinced him, but still, not sure if I can kill him. If I fail and die, I'll make you cross dimensions to the base world. But don't forget, Dio. In that world lies Johnny Joestar with infinite rotation. You must kill him. To phrase it as 5 seconds. To phase it as 5 seconds, yeah. There's really no reason for it, but the world, my ability can stop time for only 5 seconds and then resume it. Huh? What? Things were going so well. Things were going so freaking well just now. Like, so well. And look what's happened. Look what's happened. Ooh. So I guess actually, so that means there possibly does in theory, there does in theory exist like different universes of Johnny and Gyro as well then, like with not the same personality. I mean, it's explained beforehand, but now you kind of got that idea. Ah. Oh. I mean, maybe he just believes that Dio has an ambitious side to him, I guess. I mean, I think he believes the ambition that Dio has. It's what kind of draws him to him more than anything. I mean, it's kind of a weird twist at the end. I mean, I like it because it kind of brings it back to how the motif of JoJo it's always been. I like it, but I can see why people might just kind of say to themselves, "What the hell is going on here?" Like, it's just kind of one of those things. It's a bit of a weird twist, but it kind of makes sense in some context. Like, I can see what he's trying to do there. I get it, the fact he's actually British, but maybe he believes that Britain's kind of got the best outlook, maybe. Possibly, I don't know. I'm not one to actually say yay or nay to the idea, but maybe that's the idea. Maybe he trusts Britain more than say anyone else in the universe. I don't know. Because maybe one of the other things that he can actually just go to a different side and actually just kind of be with like America's future. You never know. That's one of the things. He could abandon all sense of patriotism for Dio and actually just go to America. Actually just be American for the rest of his life. I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, it has to be one of those things you have to very well explain, because it's actually quite a weird twist, but it kind of makes sense in some context, I think. Baccarat. Damn it, as I expected, they're a little dangerous, those nail bullets, so I can't get careless and move close to him. I just stay outside his firing range, and especially far from the infinite rotation. I've already got a plan to do away with that. Ooh, no way. That guy just now was Dio. It can't be. I'm sure he died on the train tracks in New Jersey. I definitely saw Dio die with my own eyes. And what's more, his stand ability wasn't dinosaurs. What was that just now? The one riding was Dio, and the horseshoe tracks were Dio's too. I guess the thing applies the fact that Araki explained the fact that there exist infinite possibilities of people out there. So they're in theory. I mean, it makes sense that he goes towards a British person, but I guess it's kind of like one of those things that he believes that possibly maybe in some fluke that Dio can actually push America forward. I don't know. Cool. Ooh. But then a bunch of knives suddenly appeared out of thin air, and Dio's body moved through space instantaneously. There wasn't some simple technique or just speed. His ability is completely different. It's like time was stopped for a few seconds. Listen, I'd like to make a deal here, Johnny Joestar. The only one who can bring the dead Gyro Zeppeli back to this world is my default C ability. This is President Valentine's doing. I mean, it's one of those things that I guess it's a matter of preference, really, when you think about it. It's one of those ones that either you love it or you hate it, kind of. I guess it's one of those you love it or hate it kind of things, and more than anything. I don't know, but I don't mind it because I like the motif it has. But it does kind of. I think it needed a bit more. I think it needed a bit more time to actually cook, just to actually make it make sense, like completely. Because it's just one of those things that he doesn't want to give it to anyone else in the universe, but he gives it to Dio. So okay, but why then? It's interesting. I quite like it, but it's one of those ones you need to kind of think about for a very long time. Resident hid a pistol. He took it from a different dimension when he came. He also brought hot pad spray. That's a Dio from a different dimension with a different ability. So that means he brought Dio here too, in order to make sure no one else got the corpse, and if he died, and put an end to this. His arrival order is 5th. At the end of the 8th stage, Union Beach, New Jersey, Johnny Joestar is 5th. Johnny Joestar and Slow Dancer took 5th place, and following him up in 6th place is Georgie Porgy. Hello! Oh man, here we go again. Here we go. I don't think it ruins both of their characters. I think it's a bit of an odd twist. It's an odd turn of fate, really, when you think about it. It's an odd twist of fate, I think. Finding the place recording for the 8th stage. Each contestant and their horses will board a steam ship. We'll board a steamship and go straight across the bay, crossing the lower bay to Coney Island in the New York borough of Brooklyn. The sea travel time is approximately 2 hours, and in that time, the horses will be able to preserve their stamina. Each ship will reach the final stage on the opposite shore in the order they reach the 8th stage, and then, starting with who came in first, they will schedule to start that stage in 15-second intervals. After approximately 4 months of crossing the continent, when they reach the opposite shore in this still ball run race, they are thought to only have 20 more minutes to travel before they reach the finishing line. Oh my god. It's a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird twist. I guess you could in theory put it down to the fact that he's seen so much crap he just actually realised it straight away now. I guess it's seen so much that it's just instant. Maybe it's the fact that maybe it could have been the fact that the traits kind of carry over from the original universe. I don't know. It's just probably he did, but I don't know. It doesn't break the emotion for me. I don't think it's one of those things I've seen so many BS things in my life that I'm just kind of like, it's not that bad. It's just kind of a bit weird. Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like. It does feel like he just wanted to put it in there. Like he's like, oh, I've got this idea, but where do I put it? Oh God, like right at the end. And now, we will display the table of results collected from everything up to the 8th stage. It's truly wondrous. No, in fact, proof of this true severity of this race. Even though they've crossed a long journey of 6,000 kilometers, there is no contestant in first place with a large separation from other contestants. All contestants' time bonuses will be used by the 8 stages, so those with them cannot carry them over to the final stage. There are then 4 people who are within the range of overall victory. Those who have the possibility of overall victory in the final stage are Poco Loco, Brandon Diego, Higashikata Norisuke, Johnny Joestar. And to add to that, prize money for the winner of the highest points total has increased to $60 million. Also, the prize money for this final stage alone will receive $10 million, the maximum possible total of $70 million. Oh, god damn it. Jesus Christ, we're still going. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's one of those things that, I mean, it's a matter of preference, really. I think it's one of those things that it's a matter of preference. It's sort of like I guess it's sort of like the ending to part 6, really. Like the same thing happens. Like you just kind of like either you love it, you hate it. I guess it's controversial in the end. Hey, I said hey. Can you speed this thing up? It's really slow. Let me give you a warning. For this ship to do something like pass the ship in front of us, if it's just an act of obstruction, you'll immediately be disqualified. I don't care about stuff like being disqualified or what place I come in anymore. How much do you want? Get me closer to him. Tell me how much do I have to pay you? $100? How about $500? I just need you to get closer to the DO ship. If you show me any money, you'll be put under arrest. It's an insult to the race. If you bribe us, we will stop the boat and put you under arrest. Stop the boat? Wait. It's not the other way around, is it? You didn't take a bribe from Dio to obstruct me, did you? It's a joke, I was just kidding. Calm down. Yeah, really, the one who should calm down is me, huh? When I get off again, there are lots of routes to Manhattan-Brooklyn Bridge. I don't particularly hate it so far. I mean, it's an interesting one, I think. What's important is not falling off Dio's trail, but the problem is he's no longer dinosaur stand ability. There's a high possibility that that ability stops time and lets him move while it's active. That Ringo we met in the forest in Kansas could make the time go back a few seconds, but if time is stopped, once I get within firing range, will I be able to hit him with something like a nail bullet? Is Dio stupid enough to let himself get shot? I need to find a way to outwit his ability. The remaining travel distance is 13 kilometers. Son of a gun! He's back! Son of a gun! He's actually back. Each ship will arrive at... Each ship will arrive at Sea Gate on Coney Island sequentially in 15-second intervals. I hate that word. Sloop John B. start. And next, after 15 seconds, Norisuke Hijigata starts, followed by Poco Loco. Then Dio disembarks in New York. Woo! Oh, son of a... Jesus Christ. Will I get a break from the announcer? It's too much announcer now. And now, with the whole world watching, the final stage has begun. The remaining distance is 30 kilometers. Come tears or come laughter. In 13 kilometers, it will be over. It's an urban battle. A 13-kilometer high-speed race has begun. Who will take a possession of the $60 million prize money? Who takes the crown and goes down in history? Excuse me, I'm coming through. Excuse me, let me through. Please excuse me. Let me get by. Ow, ouch. Hey, don't push. You're hurting my daughter. Whoosh, whoosh. Hey, it's the mouse. It's the mouse. Huh? Dad? What, he's Why? Why? My brother's boots. Could he have come to... Next, the 5th stage contestant, JoJo's, disembarks. Cheer me on. His blood horse neck extends to Manhattan. Everyone, please listen to me. Please, just for a bit, please listen to me what I have to say. I've come here because I've treated my own child horribly, and for years and years, and the whole time up till now, I've never realized that cruelty. I know that apologizing isn't enough to make up for scaring my child's heart. But that is something I finally now have come to realize. My child's name is Johnny Joestar. He crossed from the far-off West Coast all the way across the continent, all by himself, and now, here, he's finally made it to New York. Ugh. Excuse me. I mean, it's kind of nice when you think about it at the end. It doesn't excuse what he did, but it's one of those things that even he realizes it, but it's still a nice gesture at the end. It kind of makes him realize he's actually not alone anymore. It's a nice gesture to have at the end because it's one of those things that it doesn't make him alone anymore, but yeah, it doesn't excuse what he's done. That's the thing. Dio can stop times. If I get too close, I'll have the opposite effect. Getting in close to him is objectively dangerous. But now, if I don't get inside my firing range, no bullets won't make their mark. Dio knows that range, and what's more, I need to find a way to outwit his stand. I just need to get just barely close enough to shoot him to death. Huh? What? The one who was outwitted. Damn, was it me? He hung wires. Ah, damn it. Oh man, there we are. It's the end. That's volume 23 done. That's the penultimate volume of JoJo Part 7 done. It's interesting, I must say. I quite like it. I like it. It's an interesting change that it kind of. It's the thing with Diego's character. It's one of the things, I guess, it's set up the fact that D4C can actually see different realities. So in doing so, there probably exists a reality where Diego survives and actually has the world's ability. So it kind of brings it back to the fact that actually there does exist that, but it's kind of a weird twist to have at the end. But I guess it's the overall motif in the end, I think. He wants the final boss to be Diego, but the problem was Diego died. It's like, oh crap, what do I do now? But then again, it makes sense because if I guess Diego wouldn't want to kill Johnny in the end unless Johnny tried to kill him, because Diego actually helped Johnny in the end. So it's one of those things that it's a bit of a weird twist. Because I don't think of the way that Diego's character was set up. It's a weird twist. That's a problem. There's no one way of looking at it when you think about it, because as I always said with this manga, this whole entire time, is a counter argument to everything. Because the thing I can see what he was trying to do, but it's one of those things that just came out of left field. You're like, oh crap, what? You just kind of like it's a left fielded moment. It's one of the things that I really kind of expected from JoJo to have a left field moment, but it has. That's the thing. It's one of those things that it's a left field moment that it kind of makes you go, wait a second, what? But then I don't know. It's just so weird to explain. It's so weird to actually kind of comprehend as well, because you're like, the problem is, I guess the other thing to note with the other thing to note with him as well is the fact that Diego's character was set up not to actually kind of try to kill Johnny, because there's no way in hell that Diego would actually kill Johnny. But it's just one of those things that I don't think Diego would actually kill Johnny, because there's no way in hell he would, because let's face it, he helped him. Unless Johnny trying to do it actively, I don't think he would try to. Even then, he'd be like, "Stop! Look, I don't want to kill you." So in doing so, there probably does make sense to bring back an alternate reality version of Diego, because Diego then has a complete reset mentality than current Diego. But again, it's just it's a weird twist. It's just one of those ones that I don't think it makes kind of perfect sense, but it kind of if in some context it does. That's the thing I find with his character. It's a double-edged sword. This whole entire arc is a double-edged sword when you think about it, because either you love it, or you kind of hate it, or you're kind of in the middle about it. I'm just a bit like, yeah, I like it. It's a nice motif to end it with, but it's one of those things that's a bit too left-fielded for its own good. Because again, it's one of those things. Why would he entrust Diego with the actual corpse? I mean, is his actions in this alternate reality the same as his previous one? We don't know. That's the thing. We know he's completely different, but it's one of those things. Are his motives just? I know we get no indication that he was meant to be different, but I guess the indication was the fact we was explained about Gyro. That's the indication we got about the fact that, yeah, he can bring him back, but there's no way in hell he'll be the same one. That's the thing. I guess what Araki was trying to pull there. What Araki was pulling there at that one section makes no sense. But if you put into context the beginning part where he actually explains, "Look, I can bring him back, but it won't be the same one," it does make some semblance of sense. But but yeah. There's no indication that he is completely different, besides the stand. He's the same Diego. He's the same Diego Brand as before. That's the thing. He's the same one, but it's a bit different in the sense of, look, okay, so then actually he's got a different ability. He's not the same personality as before, and that's probably an indication of all you need. But yeah, I can see what you mean as well. It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword when you think about it, because there's always one or two ways to look at these things. It's either you kind of think it's a bit of a stupid twist, which I can see probably people saying that. So that's the thing. I can see why people say that. It's clearly a bit of a weird twist that you have to either like it or you kind of hate it. I think he was kind of a bit like, I think it's kind of a bit weird to actually pull at the end, but I would imagine that in doing so, keeping Diego alive wouldn't make any sense either, because there would be no way that he would actually try to kill him. I don't know. That's how I see it, at least, because it's just the way that Diego's character was set up during the arc when Wakapippo died. He changed to the point that he killed Wakapippo, but he changed in the sense that that's the thing, because you don't ever get indication about Johnny in this world either. That's it. I guess that could be the plausible argument against it, is the fact that there's no indication of who Johnny was in his world. So it's actually one of those things that he just kind of accepts and carries on. So okay, what? That's fine. I'll just continue. It's not a problem. So I can see that argument. I can see that argument perfectly, because it's one of those things. It's a bit of a weird thing to do, because Johnny would have to be explained from that world as well for him to actually kind of... Unless Johnny doesn't exist in that universe, we don't know. Unless there exists plausibility that maybe there's realities where Johnny didn't actually start the race. That could be another thing. We don't know. The whole alternate universe idea is one of those things that you have to explain quite well. He did do it. He explained it quite well. I liked it. But it's one of those things that... But it's one of those things you have to explain really freaking well, and I think the problem was, we know that Gyro exists in the different universes, but it could be the fact that Gyro never actually entered the race. It could be the fact that Johnny exists in different universes, but he doesn't enter the race. So in doing so, maybe this Diego's personality is mirrored by the fact that he's not in the race. That's the thing. I guess. I don't know. That's just how I see it, at least. It's the fact that maybe it's just the fact that actually Diego from this universe doesn't know Johnny because Johnny wasn't in the race. There's no indication of it, but it's one of those things that you could have as a plausible argument against it. The fact that he actually never is explained to be in the race. there could be an argument to say that he was there, but he just didn't do very much. It just didn't actually kind of get involved. It's one of those things that you just don't know how different universes work. Besides the one with the diamonds, that's the only one only one you knew about, really. Yeah, it's a thing. It's the thing that they don't share the exact same moment of personality, but it's the person. I guess that same thing applies to Diego. Maybe that's why he actually kind of then allowed him to actually have the corpse, because it's not the exact same person. Because he probably knows that at that point, that maybe he might have the same kind of outlook as Valentine. We don't know. You don't know much about this Diego. That's the problem. No, I believe you. I understand. I understand you completely. I get you. I understand where you're coming from. But it's a fact that I think the way that Araki set it up, this whole entire idea, it does make plausible sense. I guess there is ways of looking at it. It doesn't make any sense, but there's actually plausible ways to say that yeah, it does, because the fact was he actually indicated the fact that look, there is an alternate universe version of this character that might not be the exact same person, but it's him. It's just one of those things. I guess it works with a lot of things when it comes to alternate universes. Alternate universes do have that exact same thing. I think exploring Futurama, if I remember correctly, Futurama is like one as well. I don't know. It's an interesting arc, I think. I mean, it's one of those ones you have to. Yeah, that's the thing, because that's the thing. I always maintain it's down to the stand itself, really, when you think about it. That I guess it can't be the fact that he actually went back to the alternate universe from like the previous parts. Like, he just got Dio from part 3 and just went stuck him out of there and went, yo, by the way, I want you to go take down Johnny Joestar. But I don't know. It's an interesting one, I think. I like it because it's a discussionary kind of idea that you kind of like. Okay, so why is there another Dio? Was it 2 Dios? But I mean, I don't mind it too much. I don't think. Only because there's an argument for it and an argument against it, so it's one of those things I just kind of accept it. There was times in JoJo where kind of like, hold up a second here, like, okay, all right, Rocky, but here it doesn't really seem like that because it actually adds plausibility to the argument itself. That's the thing. That could be it as well. The fact is that the world actually was his true stand, but Scary Monsters was actually just overwritten. That's the thing. We just don't know a lot about the alternate universe. Unless they actually explain it in the next volume, we don't know. Well, probably not, but that's the thing. I have no idea how to explain it correctly, because it's one of those things that it takes a lot to actually explain the whole entire idea, I think. Because you have to kind of realize that I imagine the fact is that the explanation lies in the fact of the gyro explanation. That's the idea to why, because we don't know what alternate gyro's like motivations are. We don't know if he actually was in the race. We don't know anything about him. The fact is the same thing applies to Diego. The fact is you don't know anything about him, and that could be the argument against it. Is the fact you just don't know anything about him. You're kind of stuck here like, okay, so what's this all about? Why is he here? Why has he got a different stand? We just don't know anything about him. We imagine him to be the exact same person, but he's not. So it's one of those things, you kind of need to explain his character ever so slightly. Because otherwise it's just kind of like, alright there, fam. Alright there, fam. I don't know. That's just me, at least. That's just me. That's my mentality. But yeah, the other interesting fact was the father. The father was an interesting idea. I liked it because it was actually a nice thing to have at the end. But it doesn't really excuse the fact that he actually did all those things to him. It's the same thing applies to Valentine's character as well. I don't know if it fits with the narrative. I think it kind of does, but it's one of those things that it's a bit weird. I think the manga ended at the fact that when Valentine dies. Valentine dies, the manga's ended. That's the true ending of the manga. This is like post Aizen arc of Bleach. You're kind of like, okay, it's just a little bit on the end of it. I think the same thing applies. I think it has the exact same problem that post Aizen arc does with Bleach. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The fact is, he has no backstory. You don't know anything about him. That's kind of a hindrance to his character overall. But I think it does have, in theory, the exact same problem that Bleach does. The Bleach's like last bit was just kind of really kind of convoluted and kind of like, okay, what's going on here? But some people actually liked it, some people hated it. Same thing applies. Same thing with Naruto and a lot of other ones as well that I've read. Like I imagine it's always going to be those things that the best things in life always have like a really weird ending that either you like or you hate it. I think there's a lot of series I've watched like that, and a lot of films I've watched like that. I think that Rocky just forgot. That's the major thing. I think it's a stupid thing to say, but I think that Rocky forgot to actually put the backstory in there. I think that's the problem. I think that's what's missing in this character is the backstory. Because if we had that, then it would make sense. That's the problem. Unless he just doesn't have a backstory as much as the imagine the fact that actually maybe he's just any other person, just called Diego Brando. He doesn't have the exact same backstory, doesn't have the exact same personality, doesn't have the exact same motives. Just he's a normal person. But he knows of Diego's previous kind of volition. Actually, that's what brought him to him. We don't know. It's an interesting kettle of fish, I think. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a one you have to kind of sit here and go, all right, fam, all right. You have to kind of explain this a bit, because otherwise you're kind of just leaving your readers a lot in the loop. I don't think I'm biased. I just think I think maybe I'm trying to make an excuse for it. I don't know. That's how I've seen it. I've always said it. There's always a counter argument to everything. I honestly believe what you're saying. It's one of those things I don't 100% agree with the whole entire thing. But at the same time, it's like, it's not a bad way to end it, I don't think. It just brings up the motif for JoJo, but it's one of those things that just didn't really kind of get explained too well. It just, the only explanation you really have is the fact of the gyro explanation, but that's about it. But I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things that lets the viewer kind of decide for himself. But that's just me. That's just me, at least. So. Oh boy. I'm gonna lie down for a bit. I need to think all these things through before the ending tomorrow, if nothing actually does happen. So, that is me done for today. So, as always, if you have enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole, then do leave a like, because indeed it does help quite a bit. If you enjoyed it here on YouTube and you want to leave that sub, then do the sub, because indeed it does help quite a bit. But until tomorrow, hopefully the last volume of JoJo Part 7, chapters 92 to 94, I'll see you guys then. Bye for now.